Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
Good afternoon to everyone watching on Donegal GA TV. You're very welcome to the Burn Road in Termon here for this Michael Murphy Sports Intermediate Football Championship semi-final between Malin and Naomh Muire. We're just about 5 or 6 minutes away from the throw-in here on a very breezy day at the Burn Road. My name is Damien Dowes and I'm joined here in co-commentary today by Maureen O'Donnell from the local Termon club. Great excitement around Termon this week, and not all of it about the hosting this big semi-final. Maureen, your senior footballers, men and women, are out in big games tomorrow in the championship.
Yeah, that's very true. The ladies are out in the morning, a very early start. They take on St Knowles, and of course the men who beat the reigning champions St Eunan's, a cracking game of football. They're through, of course, to the quarter-final stages now, and they play Naomh Muire tomorrow and in Eunan's, so it's going to be a big one.
So yeah, absolutely. So there's a great sense of excitement around the Termon parish here. I see the flags are all the way into Letterkenny. They're at the mountaintop at Letterkenny. When I was flying up the road past this evening, I was thinking to myself, that's a very good bit of market out of the territory. Been done there by the Termon ones, but it is a great excitement, and that's Termon, who, am I right in saying, won the intermediate championship last year?
That's right.
And have backed it up now by getting into the quarter-final. And the teams that are here today, Naomh Muire and Malin, are hoping to get in to the semi-final. Naomh Muire were beaten by Termon in the semi-final of the championship last year. Malin beaten in the semi-final on the other side by Naomh Columba, and one of them today will be playing for that spot and making their way through to the county final in a fortnight's time.
Yeah, as you say, it's all about moving up through the ranks, I suppose. And the intermediate is actually a very, very difficult place to get out of once you're in it, and that's why the standard of football in intermediate is actually very, very good. So teams that are there find it very, very difficult to breach that. So look, both these teams will be looking for an opportunity to get into the final and maybe make it a step further, get into senior championship. I guess every team wants to be in senior championship and fighting, especially if you have numbers, if you have the good players coming up as well, and some of these teams knocking on the door for a few times now, so it'll be good to see one of them go up. But of course, look, after the semi-final today, whoever wins, you have Naomh Columba there waiting on the other side and probably favourites for this competition, but they obviously taking on Red Hughes, which are dark horses as well, as you say. Absolutely,
yeah. So I think the intermediate champions have acquitted themselves really well. You've had Termon, you've had Dunloe, who are recent intermediate champions, Downlands. So the team that comes through the intermediate championship is pretty well prepared then for the what's ahead of them at senior level.
They are, because as I say, it's the standard is really, really tough in intermediate championship. All those teams are at a real level, trying to make their way out of it, and then when they come up, they are ready for maybe that step up and to compete in senior championship. You've seen Termon coming up there; they won Division 1 as well, and like we talked about the factor of having no county players, I suppose they're playing with their full team together each year as well. So that's a huge factor, I think, throughout the year, and probably one of the biggest advantages to them winning the Division 1 league title this year.
Yeah, that's it, keeping the team together for the whole way through the season. Well, look, we're a few minutes away from throw-in here. I'm going to go through the two teams. Malin will have Daniel Malarkey in goals. The full-back line is Gary Farron, Kieran Doherty and Daniel Green. In the half-back line, Oisin McGonagall's centre half-back, and he's flanked by Sean Byrne and Mac McLaughlin. Centre field pairing, Malin young centre field, tall men, Taylor Boner and Kieran O'Neill. The half forward line, Josh Conlon's centre half forward, Sean O'Neill and Dara Douglas are on either side of him. The full forward line is Paul McLaughlin, Phil Dara, Christopher McLaughlin, Phil Dara. He's wearing 15. He's not going to play in the corner, I wouldn't expect. That's the team captain. He's going to play much further out the field. And Luke Rudden was named to start at number 14, but Seamus Houghton, who's played in all Malin's games at full forward on the edge of the square, is selected to start. The Naomh Muire team has Declan Ward in goal. Connor Cannon, Ferdy Adordy and Patrick Rogers are the full back line. Jack O'Donnell, Paddy McCafferty and Tuchel Lunny are in the half back line. Patrick Gillespie, Adam O'Brien, Ilarna Parka, Fintan Doherty, Sean Burns and Daniel Devlin in the half forward line, and then the full forward line where all the scoring is done from Joey Gillespie, Cahill Fee and Owen Martin being the top scorer. So Anthony Finn has blown the whistle here to try and get the team's attention. The teams are just going through their last little bit of pre-match routine. And we're almost ready for the off here, Maureen. That's a stiff breeze that's blowing down towards the clubhouse end, and it looks very much like Malin are going to have the advantage of that in the first half here.
Yeah, it's funny because I was here, you're talking about the breeze, I was here when Terma played units in round 4 of the senior championship, and the breeze had a huge impact. Talk about a game of two halves. You know, you probably anticipate the same here today. The breeze is actually switched. It was going up the field, it's coming up the field, it was the other way. But listen, I think the team that have the breeze in the first half really need to utilise it, capitalise on it with the 2-pointers, get ahead, because it's going to be difficult probably coming out in the second half.
Yeah, there is a few 2-point takers in the Malin team as well with their breeze in the first half. Josh Conlon's been their top scorer in the championship to date, and the team captain Christy McLaughlin can chip in with those, as can the midfielder Kieran O'Kane. And we're just about ready for the referee Anthony Finn from Naomh Columkill here to get the game going underway. The shirts goes up from the spectators here, and we're underway in this quarter-final of the Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure Intermediate Football Championship semi-final. Naomh Muire are on the attack here, and it's Fintan Doherty. Fintan Doherty's letting the ball back to their Malin 65. So Malin have retreated, and they have their 12 men back inside their own 45. Christopher Fildara is the most furthest advanced, but Naomh Columba have their hands on the ball, and they're going to try and work a scoring opportunity here. But they're going to have a lot of patience in these early stages. He breaks through a couple of tackles, but he's overcarried the ball there, Joey Gillespie. So Malin are away. He's just taking it from the wrong place. Referee Anthony Finn penalises the Naomh Muire corner forward for an overcarry. And now Malin are away down the right side, and it's with Sean O'Neill. O'Neill lets the ball in long to Josh Conlon. Conlon's on the edge of the large D's. Needs to get onto his right foot there. He's been very closely marshalled by Connor Cannon. O'Neill's back on the ball again. He's been heavily tackled as well by Danny Davlin, the Naomh Muire captain. Now Malin have a man across the centre here. That's Oisin McGonigal. Oisin McGonigal from out beyond the 45. He's hoisted that up. He's put it right on the edge of the square, and that has gone over for the opening score for Malin. It's a 2-pointer from Oisin McGonigal, exactly what the doctor ordered, Maureen.
Yeah, look, he looked up, he knew the one behind him, and what a fabulous score from out on the right hand side. Well taken, well struck, and you know that's the thing about these Malin attackers, they're well able to take a score.
Yeah, that breeze is definitely going to have an impact on the 2-point takers, the 2-point kickers here. So it's Daniel Ward with the kick out. It makes the 65-metre line, and it breaks to Taylor Boner. Taylor Boner throws a man out of his way. No free, says the referee. It's back now with Christopher Fildara. Fildara plays the ball right. The Malin midfielder off camera, Kieran O'Kane, is down there. He's just getting himself up rather gingerly. It's in now. Inside the D is Sean Byrne. Sean Byrne got a goal last week against Muff down in Buncrana, and he's got an early point here for Malin. And with just over 2 minutes on the clock, it's Malin leading by 3 points to no score.
Yeah, we talked about the wind, and look, we see it early on. Really, Malin are really utilising that one, taking long range shots. Of course, a point just in that stage, but that puts them 3 points at an advantage here very early on. It's a good start for Malin.
It's a perfect start for Malin. Yeah, the manager Paul Gallagher will be very happy with this now. So Daniel Ward looking for another kick out. He doesn't get it. Comes off his foot badly. It is out as far as Dara Douglas. He jab lifts the ball, manages to let the ball back to Kieran O'Kane. O'Kane has got men free on the right. It's gone over as far there as Paul McLaughlin, I think it is. No, it's Kieran Jimmy Rose, the full-back, Kieran Doherty. Kieran Doherty is out. He lets the ball off to one of the Malin long-range shooters. It's Sean O'Neill. Sean O'Neill has a pop at the post, and he knocks that wide. It's the first wide of the game.
Look, it's evident the way Malin are playing here and setting up that there's a high press with that one, which is what you want. And Naomh Muire are finding it very difficult to get this ball out. Lost that kick out and ended up there's pitching points, but you would expect that with the one behind them, and it's good to see them actually taking shots as well from long ranges.
They're all brave enough to get in there now. So Declan Ward's under big pressure off this kick out already. We can see that 3 kick outs, none of them claimed by the Naomh Muire men. The ball is let inside to Christopher Fildara. Christopher Fildara has men outside. He has Paul Fildara, the cousin, lays it back to Christopher. Back out now to the midfielder Kieran O'Kane. Kieran O'Kane just drops the ball. He's going to be closed down. Oh, he skips away from his opposite number, Adam O'Brien. and it's come across to Taylor Boner, back to Oisín McGonigal. Oisín McGonigal from the very similar position till he scored a 2-pointer earlier. This time he skips around the man, lets the ball out to Kieran Doherty. Kieran Doherty's the full-back, tries one off the outside of his boot and has put that over the bar. This is an absolutely fabulous start for Malin. There are 4 points to no score up, and there's barely 4 minutes on the clock.
It was beautifully sprayed to the right hand side. Most of their scores are actually coming from the right hand side of the field, but as he struck that with the outside of his boot, really, like, he was outside the 45. What a score!
It's a massive score for Malin, and they lead by 4 points to 1 with just over 4 minutes on the clock. And again, Daniel Ward tries to go long. It's going to be contested out there. It's broken to the Malin men again. Christopher Faldara, he under pressure drops the ball, lets it through to Conor O'Neill. It's Sean O'Neill. I get the brothers mixed up all the time. It's out now to the Kieran Doherty again. Kieran Doherty has got a point to his name already, but he's just going to keep this calm. Malin have a free man now on the left side this time. That's Taylor Boner. Boner has options inside. He gives it to Dara Douglas. Malin just taking the steam out of this a little bit. They have possession. They're just going to play it out around the 65-metre line while Naomh Muire are standing and defend their own 45. So Dara Douglas in the left half-forward position, wearing number 12 on his back. He lets the ball back to Paul McLaughlin. Paul McLaughlin is outside the arc. He has an effort at the post, but the ball strikes the umpire's flags and has gone wide. 2 wides for Malin, but they still have 4 points on the board. They'll be very pleased with their start so far.
Yeah,
Malin.
I mean, it's a dream start for any team, but as I say, you know, I guess Naomh Muire are a bit of a disadvantage here, and you know, Ward can't seem to get the ball out. As you see, they're under pressure with this kick out. They need to start winning their kick outs, I feel.
I said, and it's so hard now, Gaelic football, the way the rules have gone, that, you know, this kick-out contest has finally broken Naomh Muire's way, and that's Patrick Gillespie winning the break ball there at in midfield. So Naomh Muire now get their hands on the ball. Fintan Doherty lays it into Sean Burns. Burns has a man free out on the left, and that is Daniel Devlin, the team captain. They're just leaving it back now to Owen Martin, who is Naomh Muire's main scoring threat, but he switches it across to Joey Gillespie. Joey Gillespie has a lot of space here on the right. He cuts inside. He's inside this small D. He's laying it back to Burns. They're looking to try and create the chance here. He's coming back out now again to Martin. Martin is their main kicker. He doesn't catch that quite right. It drops into the paws there of the Malin goalkeeper, Daniel Mularkey. And now Malin tried to build from deep in their own half, and they're working the ball out here. It's coming to Mac McLaughlin. Mac McLaughlin's under pressure there from Jack O'Donnell, but he manages to win the ball, and he lays it off now, and it's made its way to Kieran O'Kane. O'Kane has burned free wide on the right. O'Neill's coming off that as well. He's one of the Malin's long-range shooters, but he is looking now for Josh Conlon. The ball crossfield pass is intercepted there by Sean Burns. Burns has forced a turnover for Naomh Muire now, who are trying to work it out with Tuchel Lunny. Lunny laying it back to Jack O'Donnell, and now Malin are pressing them back inside their own half. Naomh Muire are back in their own D here. It's a little bit dodgy what they're at, but they've managed to beat the press, have they? And they've got it out. It's coming out through their centre half back, Paddy McCafferty, and they're trying to have a bit of composure in there. Patrick Rogers is in as well, and they've got it to the fullback, Ferdy Doherty, the former Donegal under 20 captain from a couple of years back. He takes a heavy hit there in the centre field but manages to retain possession, Naomh Muire, and it's Fintan Doherty. Fintan Doherty breaks past the 45. They give it back to Owen Martin with a 1-2. Doherty through again. He gets a free in for the Naomh Muire men, and this is going to be their chance, Maureen, now to get themselves off the mark here with their opening score.
Yeah, they really need to steady themselves up here for this. But look, that's the one thing about Naomh Muire. They've got good free takers as well, and well able to score from a placed ball. So they should have no problem with this. It's actually relatively, it's about 21 yards out from goal here. So this should be an easy one. I'm sure he'll use the win to his advantage as well, and this score should settle him.
This is Owen Martin. Owen Martin is Naomh Muire's top scorer. He has no problem popping that over the bar, and it's the opening score for Naomh Muire. And we have just about 8 minutes on the clock, and we need to see now Malin's first kick out from Mularkey.
He will have been disappointed with his earlier effort too, Owen Martin, so you know what I mean?
Right,
like, it's good to see him putting that one over. Well steady.
So Mularkey uses the breeze. That's going to land up inside the 65 of Naomh Muire, and it's with O'Byrne. Byrne has got a couple of clatters in the back. That's a free to the Malin men, Anthony Finn, the referee, says. So Kieran O'Kane has it. He is making it calm as well. So there's interesting there. They brought big Seamus Houghton out to try and contest that kick out there. He came out beyond the 45 from his full forward position. He lies in close on the edge of the square. Malin have Oisin McGonigal putting the ball in for Dara Douglas. Dara Douglas is in along the end line here, and with his left foot he's able just to chip over a fine and a well worked score there for a 5-1 lead.
It seems a lot easier for Malin to get the scores, you know what I mean? Beautifully worked score there from the kick out. They actually won their kick out, their first kick out. So it shows, again, the Breeze is carrying the ball, but there's a lot of lovely work off the ball and a lot of support play from Malin, and just it was a fine point from his well out on the left hand side and with his left foot as well.
That's it, yeah, it was a good finish from Dara Douglas. Douglas has been one of their scoring forwards throughout the championship to date. So Daniel Ward with another long kick out. It comes just to centre field, pushing the back there from Taylor Boner, and Finn catches that, and it's going to be a Naomh Muire free just on the halfway line here. And we have Patrick Gillespie's taking that on. He's laying it back to Tuchel Lunny. Lunny has men free to in front of him. 1-2 with Paddy McCafferty there. Now Naomh Muire, there's a little bit of a rain starting to fall here at the Burn Road. There's been a wee bit of rain in it this afternoon, but the breeze, I suppose, is the biggest factor here. Naomh Muire a break inside the Malin arc again now. It's the wing back Jack O'Donnell. O'Donnell, he lays it off to Owen Martin, and Owen Martin uses the win superbly there to curl that over the bar, and you can see why he's been the top scorer for Naomh Muire throughout this championship. That's 242 coming in today, and he's got the first 2 points of the game for Naomh Muire.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well, though. You know, they go through Owen Martin a lot, but you can see why. He's very, very sharp in front of goal, and you know, like, they just swiftly got that ball onto him. He's been on the ball a lot, and that was a great score, nearly a 2-pointer as well. It
was an excellent kick into that breeze, and he judged the breeze perfectly. Malin are back underway again. Daniel Malarkey picking out Kieran Doherty out in the wing, and they now have possession inside the Naomh Muire half. Christopher McLaughlin, he's the team captain now. He's on his left foot. He's going past to Hulunny. He's looking to get the ball across. Oisin McGonigal, who's already got a 2-pointer to his name, is free. He puts the ball, pass goes behind him. He's going to have to go and reset. Naomh Muire now are able to shuffle their defence across to this left side of the park here. It's with Douglas. Douglas has a man free over on the right again. It's Kieran Doherty. Kieran Doherty is well picked out with a perfect pass from Douglas. Doherty, though, has a pop at the post, and it's well off target there. That's probably a couple of wides Malin have had earlier. That's their third. Like, that's probably the worst of the wides that they've hit so far.
That's their third, but they're still taking shooting opportunities, you know. Like, and what you find with a lot of these games and a lot of the games earlier in the championship, they're both these teams, you know, have put up high scores.
That's right, yeah. And the Malin men, with that breeze, they've obviously been told, you know, it's nearly, if it's not quite shoot on sight, it's definitely try and make the best of the opportunity that you have in this first half. Yeah. So Daniel Ward again with the kick out, reaches the 65-metre line. It's well taken there. That's a very fine catch there at centre field by Patrick Gillespie. That's the first mark that they've been able to draw off their own kick out in this game so far. The ball has worked out to the left now. They're going to be tacking down the left, and that is Joey Gillespie. Where is Owen Ward? Owen Martin's inside there. He's been watched. They'll be looking to try and get him onto the ball, but it's Joey Gillespie. Again, he puts the ball behind Tuchel Lunny. Lunny now has space in front of him, but he doesn't have any man in green that he can let the ball into. It's back with Gillespie. Gillespie's trying to take his man on. That's Daniel Green against Joey Gillespie. Gillespie gets through. He lays it back to Burns. Sean Burns lays it off now. Look, they're looking for a thing. Marlon put in some heavy tackling there. They've managed to turn it over. They've turned them back. Can Byrne make it there ahead of the well held off there by the Naomh Muire half forward? Fintan Doherty, that's a free in now. A foul from from Gary Farron. And it's a free in for Naomh Muire, and they'll probably just take the opportunity here to calm this down a bit. Right, they've let it out to the right again to Tuchel Lunny. Tuchel Lunny exchanges the balls with Cahill Fee. Cahill Fee beats one man, beats two, and off his right foot he has just swung that over the bar, it looks like. That's an excellent score from Cahill Fee. He's London born and bred, Mo. He's just transferred into Naomh Muire this year. His mother's from Mulladuff, and that's a good contribution from the full forward.
Yeah, really, really good. And you talked about Cahill Fee there, Owen Martin, Daniel Devlin, all very lively up front, all very pacey as well. Like, and I feel like if they run at the Malin attack, like, they're getting good scores on them.
That's it, 5 points to 3. So Naomh Muire, having been 4-0 behind, have managed to come back into it, and that is Adam O'Brien that picked off Daniel Malarkey's long kick out, and Naomh Muire now have a chance to build. They're in Malon's half, just out around the 45-metre line. That's where the little bit of space is. Malin are defending the 45, defending the arc. And it's with Owen Martin. Martin gets past his man Gary Farn there. Gets past Oisín McGonigal, lays the ball off. And he's looking back to the half forward, Sean Burns. One of the veterans of the Naomh Muire team here. Sean Burns is exchanging passes there with Fintan Doherty. Malin are just trying to hold them out at the edge of the arc, out by the 45, and it's gone again to Fee. Fee has good pace. He's got past one, but no, Green turns him back. And it's Naomh Muire are very happy and content to hold it. 6 men are back in their own half. 3 backs, 3 forwards, and the goalkeeper are back in the other half of the field. So it's 12v11 down here. So Naomh Muire have holding possession here, and there's been a good run inside there from Jack O'Donnell. He's pulled in a Malin man with him. It's now Joey Gillespie has a little bit of space. He's able to lay it off to the man that made the run inside earlier on there, and that's a fine score from Jack O'Donnell. Jack O'Donnell made the dummy run in the first instance. The ball was worked to Gillespie. He feeds the wing back Jack O'Donnell, and that's the 4th point of the day for Naomh Muire.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful cross ball play by Owen Martin. Like he picked out Joey Gillespie on this side, and he laid it inside. And Jack O'Donnell, who's very, very explosive half back, really good for a score as well. Just slotted it over the ball nicely with his left foot.
It's an excellent score for Naomh Muire, and they've got over the very bad start here. They're back now 5 points to 4. And the breeze hasn't been such a factor this last while because they've been able to pop on those scores. There's Dara Douglas from outside of the arc. It looks very much like 2 hands up from Anthony Finn, and that's 7 points to 5. That's Dara Douglas chipping over an excellent 2-pointer from beyond the arc there.
And that's the beauty of the 2-pointer, especially when you have a breeze like that behind you, go up the volley. He just made that look so casual, so nice on his left foot, and it just straight over the black spot. And what a score to put them 3 ahead again, do you know what I mean?
That's it, yeah. So after Naomh Muire had reeled off 3 points without reply, Malin managed to get a 2-pointer from the boot of Dara Douglas. Now another kick out from Ward. It breaks to the Malin men. It's gone to Sean Byrne. Sean Byrne has managed in for the break. It's now with Paul Fedara in the left corner forward position, or the left half forward position. It's back now with the midfielder Kieran O'Kane. Kieran O'Kane tries to beat his man. He's going to run out a bit of space here, and he's just hand passed the ball over his head, and the referee says you can't do that. And there's been a wee bit of a clattering into one another. There's 2 men lying down there, but referee Anthony Finn is going to just maybe have a wee word with his linesman there.
Yeah, appeared to be something, but the linesman was right on top of it now, so will we see a card or not for this? But Jack O'Donnell's still down.
He's also radioing back in there, the referee's radioing back to his linesmen, or to his umpires there, the men in the white coats behind the goals. I didn't see an awful lot in any of that there now. I didn't catch it anyway. And by the looks of things, none of the officials have seen anything awfully untoward either.
No.
So it's a Naomh Muire free kick just inside their own 45. We've got 2 men back behind him. Paddy McCaffrey there, he lets the ball back now. Naomh Muire don't really have men on the other side of the field yet, so they're going to have to work this out through the centre. And it's with Sean Burns, the centre half forward, playing deep, and it's gone back again to Jack O'Donnell. O'Donnell is back in his own half now. I haven't got that very good point. And Naomh Muire have put Patrick Gillespie into the edge of the square there, and they've put their 2 big men in there. Adam O'Brien's in there as well, so they've worked their 2 midfielders have gone into the edge of the square. Looks like they could be shaping up for some kind of set play here in Naomh Muire, but it's back to Tuathail Lunny. They've got the ball on their own, just around midfield. And again, they're going to take, as they've done throughout this, they're going to show good composure here, try and hold the ball, and try and take a little bit of the sting out of it here. And that's well done there by Fintan Doherty, but Fintan Doherty's penalised for overcarrying. He has put the ball down. The ball has been kicked in now by Sean Byrne into Christopher McLaughlin. He has to take it at the second attempt there, just drops it the first time. He's very fast as Fildara. He lays the ball off to Paul Fildara. There's a high challenge there. The referee reckons it's all okay. Back to Gary Farn. Gary Farn lets it back out to Kieran O'Kane. O'Kane and Farn combine again. It's back now with Paul McLaughlin. Paul McLaughlin is outside of the arc. He puts the ball into this edge of the big square, and it's dropped into the net. It's dropped into the net, and that's the goal, the opening goal of this game from Malin. It's Paul McLaughlin. He's hit it from outside of the big arc. I don't think you get 2 points or 3 points for that. What are we giving him? We'll give him the 3 for the goal.
He's definitely got the 3. Declan Muire just didn't know what was going on there, but you know what? Like that's a game changer, really. That puts him 10. That puts him 6 points ahead, and just the break that Malin needed, because they were coming under a bit more pressure there from Naomh Muire, but.
That's it, yeah. That high ball in, and that's what Seamus Houghton does in there, in and around the square. I was mentioning the big man there. He's in and around the square. He's jumping up and he's getting in that goalkeeper's eye line, and the ball drops into the back of the net, and it's a 1-7 to 4 point lead here for Malin, and they've turned the ball over inside on their own 20-metre line, and now they're breaking out. Dara Douglas has the ball. He's crossing the 45. He has Josh Conlon. He's been really quiet. Conlon has been well marked and tightly marked there by Conor Cannon. Now he finds a bit of space up at top of the left. It's Josh Conlon. He's going to get onto it here now, but he's going to have 2 men for company very, very soon. He manages to get around. He puts the ball across to Paul McLaughlin. Paul McLaughlin gets onto his right foot, and the goal scorer, having put in one from long range, has now put one over the bar from just about 20 metres out. And this is a really good spell for Malin. They've hit 1-3 without reply here.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I was going to praise Naomh Muire for starting to settle into the game and get a few scores on the board against the Breeze, but Malin have really hit hard back at them there now, as you say, 1-1 within the last 2 minutes. They'll be delighted with their form in this first half.
Yeah, they've really made the most of the good start. Naomh Muire came back into the game, a little push in the back, not picked up by the referee, and the ball has broken to the Naomh Muire men, but Malin have managed to win the dirty ball back. It's Taylor Boner under a lot of pressure there. He lets the ball out. It's out to Kieran Doherty. He's playing on kind of in that right half back position. He's normally full back for them, but he's been playing much further out the field today. Oisin McGonigal now gets past 1, 2, 3 Naomh Muire men. No free, says the referee, Anthony Finn. In goes, I think it's Sean Byrne goes in bravely to try and pick that ball off the ground, and as he's down trying to pick it up, he's hit by a man in a green jersey, and it's a free in for the Malin men, and this is out beyond the arc, and it's an opportunity now for Christopher McLaughlin, I think probably with the left foot from out there, Maureen, for a 2-point free effort here.
And listen, they've been scoring from that side, just in that particular area. No problem. That one should carry this over for another 2-pointer, as you say. But listen, that referee Anthony Finn is really on it today. Like, he allowed play to go on there, and then there was no mistake in that there. You know, when he was picking the ball up off the ground, he just got charged that.
So Christopher McLaughlin has put that one to the left of the post and wide. That's a fourth wide for Malin here, and there's just about 21 minutes, a little over 21 minutes on the clock. They lead Naomh Muire by 1-8 to 4 points. Naomh Muire, who came through last weekend after defeating Milford in the quarter-final. They were 3-14 to 1-13 winners. In their quarter-final, Malin needed extra time to overcome Naomh Padraig of Iskaheen by 3-22 to 1-25. And the sides have started really well here again today, particularly the Malin men, and that's been won by Naomh Muire. They're starting to do a little bit better off their own kick out now, having struggled so much in the early stages. It's with Sean Burns. They're inside the 20-metre line. It's with the corner forward there, Joey Gillespie, but it has broken back to Martin. Martin is looking for his options there. He's just running a little bit away from goals. It's come back out to the centre fielder, Adam O'Brien. Adam O'Brien is out around the arc now, and it's in with Cahill Fee. Fee has been lively anytime he's got on the ball, and it's gone back now to Jack O'Donnell. O'Donnell having his name on the scoreboard already. And he's looking for Owen Martin. Owen Martin's been held up, and it's a free kick, and correctly so, says Anthony Finn. Anthony Finn allows him to take his solo and go, but he says the tackle came after that, so that was okay. It's gone back out now to the corner forward, Joey Gillespie. Joey Gillespie puts the ball over the bar. That's a well-worked and a hard-earned score from Naomh Muire there. It's a few minutes since they've scored. It's more than 5 minutes since they've scored, but they've pulled one back, and it's 1-8 to 5 points.
Yeah, as you say, you nailed it in the head there. Just very, very hard work score, and this is the thing. They're finding it really difficult against that Breeze. Although they're being patient out there and trying to break inside, they'll be happy enough that Owen Martin's playing out around that 45, because he's not as dangerous out there.
That's it. Now, Daniel Malarkey's kick out has been picked off by the Naomh Muire men again. And it's Naomh Muire patiently holding possession again, as they have done out in this kind of middle third of the field here. And it's Paddy McCafferty. Paddy McCafferty goes in, he crosses, he's been stood off there trying to dare him to shoot, but he lays it off to one of the shooters, and that is well-worked score again there from Joey Gillespie. 2 in a row from Joey Gillespie. That's a well-worked score. Malin stood off the centre half back, figuring that he wasn't going to shoot it. But when he made the pass to Joey Gillespie, there was no stopping him either.
Yeah, and look, I feel like Malin are leaving this right-hand side channel very, very open now on a few occasions, and it must be the one because, like, Joey Gillespie has found himself just outside the arc a couple of times, but hasn't really taken a shot. But on that occasion, he felt like that he could take the shot, and he's well able to take it even at the range. So, but there must be a big breeze because they aren't shooting from further out. Like even outside the 21, they're finding it difficult. But that was a great score off his left foot there.
That's it. 2 in a row from Naomh Muire, 2 in a row from Joey Gillespie, and there is 5 points between the team. Daniel Malarkey, he wanted a fresh football brought out. New balls, please, says Malarkey. He's looking for the kick out. He finds Kieran Doherty. Kieran Doherty is initially hit by Paddy McCaffrey. Gary Farn now has the ball. He works the ball out right wide to Oisín McGonigal. Oisín McGonigal souls in front of the stand here, Terman. And it's back now with Kieran O'Kane. O'Kane gets a big crossfield switch to Daniel Green. He was almost closed down there by Cahill Fee. And now Malin are playing inside their own half and playing around with it a little bit much probably. But Kieran Doherty now doesn't have options in front of them. Naomh Muire have kind of closed down that left side of their defence there. There's a few bodies over there, the places where Malin have been scoring from. Sean Byrne, the right half back, he's playing up in attack. It's with Dara Douglas. Douglas is sold him across. He's got Oisín McGonigal cutting inside. McGonigal gets on to the 45. He's got 2 Naomh Muire men. He's brought to the ground. Good tackle, a good turnover there by Naomh Muire. There's going to be an advantage allowed here. So it's Jack O'Donnell has the advantage. He doesn't need it. He's gone through. They're breaking through. The advantage looks to be over. There's 2 men lying down, a Malin man and a Naomh Muire man. Further out the field, there's a ball in. It's a great ball into Owen Martin. He's laid it off to Cahill Fee. He's through 1-on-1, but he has blasted the ball over the bar. There's a great goal chance there for Naomh Muire, but they come out of it with at least a point. 1-8 to 7 points, Maureen. That was a bit of a goal chance and a really well worked one as well. Yeah,
and it just goes to show you how dangerous Naomh Muire are on that turn on ball. Like Jack O'Donnell turned that over. Found there was a great vision pass into Owen Martin, who found Cahill Fee. And geez, it could have been in the back of the net. It really should have been because they can score goals. They proved that in the quarter-final stages and in the earlier stages of the championship. They're very good at scoring goals. They probably didn't get off to the start they wanted today. They're very quick to start, but that's because Malin had one up and I suppose had that breeze behind their back. But listen, that narrows the gap coming up close to half-time for Naomh Muire. They'll be pleased with that, and they'll be looking to maybe get another score or two. Before the break. Yeah,
both sides have had a goal touch in the championship. 5 games in, they both hit 8 goals in the championship to date. And Malin already have one on the board here today. A long kick out again, looking for Seamus Houghton. Seamus Houghton has come out, but the ball is broken to O'Neill. O'Neill can't pick it up, and it's a free now. It's a free for the Ferdy Doherty. Doherty is breaking forward. He's got big Adam O'Brien. Adam O'Brien is under heavily tackling there, and it's gone to Sean Burns out again to Owen Martin. Owen Martin puts the ball just past the referee. He has to step out of the road of it, and it's with Jack O'Donnell. Jack O'Donnell already has 1 point. He's let the ball inside here now to Joey Gillespie. Joey Gillespie, he over kicks it a wee bit, and Daniel Malarkey just got his fingertips to that, and mid-solo he slapped that ball away out of the possession of Joey Gillespie, and the ball has gone out for a 45. Excellent goalkeeping there from the Malin goalkeeper, but again, Maureen, as you were pointing out, the goal threat that Naomh Muire have, and they were exhibiting there again.
Yeah, I looked to be very disappointed with that, and it felt like he was like looking for maybe a bit of support play because he was really, really in on top of the keeper. As you say, the keeper, Daniel Malarkey, did really, really well there to make his presence big. He stood tall and he kind of forced him out, but I felt he was looking for another opportunity. Just that split-second decision. I
think he was looking for a man off the left side of the square as well. He was wondering where's Owen Martin so I can pop this across to him, but he didn't have the support that he needed, and just that moment of delay allowed Daniel Malarkey to tip the ball away out at the expense of a 45, and it's Malin's Sean Byrne, I think it is, it looks like, down at the moment, and he's having a bit of a stretch there with the physio to see how that right leg of his it is. How is it doing? He's got his head on his hands there, and he's back up on his feet. Can he run that off is going to be the question now. Owen Martin is standing over the 45. He's out on the 45 metre line. It's a little bit to the right, not too much to the right of the right hand post here, and he's kicking into a fairly significant breeze. The breeze blowing into the clubhouse end here, the new clubhouse end at the Burn Road in Terman. So Martin catches it sweetly. It's just going to drift on the window to the left, but he struck that as well as he could into that breeze, Maureen. And I make that the first wide for Naomh Muire in the course of the game.
Yeah, first of all, he struck it really well, and when it left the ground, it looked like it was going over the bar. But you can see that one is certainly kind of coming up the field, but across the field at the same time. But I suppose he just didn't catch it well enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, so Jared McLaughlin, John Crua is coming in now to replace Sean Byrne, it looks like, on the Malin team. He's one of the experienced players that Malin thought they probably had lost, but he's back in the squad now for this big semi-final intermediate championship. And again, Naomh Muire have picked off Malarkey's kick out, and Naomh Muire are on the attack now, and it's Burns. Gets the ball into Tuathail Lunny. Lunny breaks through tackle, loses the possession, but it's got back into Naomh Muire's hands safely. It's the centre half back, Patrick McCafferty, and he has got Joey Gillespie, and he's got plenty of men offering. Adam O'Brien's through the centre here as well, and that makes it into the hands of the midfielder. Owen Martin is out now, out beyond the 45, teasing and tempting, trying to encourage the Malin man to commit himself to the challenge. He switches possession now, and it's back across the centre in a very good position now for Fintan Doherty. Fintan Doherty tries to get around Gary Farron, and he is coming in here. There's going to be a scoring opportunity at the end of all this, because we're getting very close to the 30 minutes here. So can Naomh Muire create another scoring opportunity and execute it before the full-time whistle? They've been so efficient with 7 points from about 9 or 10 attacks. There is an accidental trip there, I think, on that. He is brought down there, Cahill Fee. He's been one of the dangerous Naomh Muire men on the inside forward line there, and he has drawn a free, which I think is just inside the arc. And this, for Owen Martin, is 5 or 6 steps further in than the 45. It's even more central, and it looks like they will have at least that last opportunity to get their to narrow the deficit while and going into the half-time break.
He's going to change it up as well and take this from his hands.
Down, yeah. I suppose he kind of had to do it the last time for the 45, but he's very comfortable. He's scored something like 20 points in this championship so far, and he struck that perfectly right over the black spot from Owen Martin there. 1-8 to 8 points. Naomh Muire are trailing just by the 3, and after the start that they had, Maureen, after giving up that they were 6 behind, I think, when they gave away the goal to Paul McLaughlin. They actually fell 7 behind then not long after, and to be just 3 between the teams now, getting close to half time. They can be probably happy enough with that and the breeze to come in their favour. And again, Malarkey's kick out has gone to Naomh Muire. It's gone over the head of the Malin midfielder there, Jared McLaughlin, and it has fallen into the Naomh Muire men again. And the full back, Faraday Doherty, gets the ball to Sean Burns. He's the real playmaker for Naomh Muire here. He puts the pass across. It's behind Fintan Doherty, but he's able to recover. Now on this right-hand side of the field, as we look at it here, Patrick Gillespie is in a good bit of space, but back in their own half, Naomh Muire are under pressure here. That's going to be a turnover, and that Malin are away now. Paul McLaughlin, number 13 on his back, puts the ball inside to Sean O'Neill. Sean O'Neill has got Seamus Houghton across the square. The ball is crossed for Houghton. Houghton sticks it into the back of the net. The ball came across there. That ball was lost by Naomh Muire. They had it, having won the kick out, they had it across their own 45. They got turned over, and Malin have punished them with the last kick of the first half almost.
Oh, they'll be hugely disappointed in Naomh Muire, but on the other hand, a fabulously worked goal there, I feel, by Malin. And you know, they haven't scored in the last 10 minutes of the game, but they'll be happy to have scored that goal going in now at the break. Seamus Houghton seems to have picked up a knock from that, but he did really well, and great vision as well. From Malin, Sean McGee's Malin. But brilliant. I thought he swept it across lovely there. He could have went himself as well if it was 2v1 plus the keeper, but Seamus Houghton did well to get inside him. Absolutely, yeah. So Sean O'Neill putting the cross in for Seamus Houghton, who's in on the square, in on the edge of the square. He was unmarked after that turnover there on the 45-metre line. Paul McLaughlin worked the ball into the corner, and Sean O'Neill was unselfish out there. He knew he had Big Houghton on the end of the square. He put the ball across the square. Houghton was brave. Daniel Ward came out to try and close him down, but he wasn't able to keep the ball out of the net. And Malin leading now by 2-8 to 8 points with just about 33 minutes on the clock. Anthony Finn allows play to continue on. Another long kick out. Naomh Muire are doing much better off their kick outs now, and they've managed to win that again. It's with Faraday Doherty, but it's a turnover here in their own half. And
Josh Conlon gets the ball up at the second attempt. It's outside now again to O'Neill. Cuts into his left foot. He hoists the ball up high. There's a cheer from the stand over there. They're well positioned behind it. And there's another score from Malin just as the clock ticks beyond 33. And they now have a 7-point lead in this semi-final of the Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure Intermediate Football Championship. And referee Anthony Finn does sound the half-time whistle there, with Malin leading by 2-9 to 8 points. Maureen, it's been a very entertaining half of football. We were talking about the high scoring ability of both teams, and they're certainly showing it here. And Malin's nose for goal with those 2 goals has got them with their tails up going into the half-time break here.
Yeah, and they could be the difference in a game. You know yourself how hard it is to get the goals. But look, I felt Naomh Muire, to credit to them as well, they were very patient at times in front of goals. They chipped away at the points. Yeah, they didn't get it. They had 2 goal opportunities, which you missed as well. So you got to take that into consideration. They are dangerous in front of goals. They'll have the one behind them now coming out in the second half. And as you know, as we all know now at this stage, no game with even a 7-point lead now, it used to be a big factor going into half time. It's not anymore, because teams can come out and just chip them off with 2-pointers. Naomh Muire got no 2-pointers really, did they, in that first half? But I suspect now, coming out in the second half, they'll be happy, have done a good solid half hour of football. As you say, there's 7 points a difference, not an awful lot. They'll be thinking 3 2-pointers and they're back in the game, and they're very, very good in front of goal. But look, Malin have done really well with those 2 goals as well. Seamus Howe will be very happy with that last goal. And a great vision, the way they spray the ball across the field as well, with the way you pick out players. Paul McLaughlin picking up that 1-1. They hadn't scored then until Seamus Houghton's goal for about 12 minutes. Yeah. But what an effective score to go in at half time.
Yeah, I suppose like a lot of the games that we've seen in the championship now in Gaelic football with these new rules, there is these long periods of domination from one team or the other, because they've been able to pick and win possession at centre field, and then they kind of dictate the terms of the engagement here. Malin, they led by 4 points to no score after 4 minutes, and a really, really excellent start for them. Naomh Muire managed to pull themselves back in. There was a touch of fortune probably to Paul McLaughlin's goal. He was having a shot from away out beyond the big arc. It dropped in over the keeper, with Houghton on the edge of the square, just being a menace at the edge of the square, as he tends to be. And Naomh Muire's response to that was really good. They were trailing 1-8-4. They brought it right back to 1-8-8. But those last goal and the point from Malin has put them in the driving seat with a 7-point lead here at half time in the championship. Maureen, it's all to play for in the second half, and we're really looking forward to another good half hour of football here in Donegal GA TV. Yeah,
it certainly is. Look, it'll be, as I say, a game of 2 halves as well. But look, I felt it was a game of 2 quarters there, because I felt Malin did really well in the opening 15 minutes. There was a surge then from Naomh Muire to close the gap there. But look, you talk about Seamus Houghton, the first goal, it was very fortunate for Malin, I felt, because McLaughlin, I think, was going for a point at that stage, but it fell in, and that just goes to show you a full forward being a menace in there. Just that it affects the keeper's balance, it affects the ball coming in. The same happened in the senior championship here in Termon, and then they got a fortunate goal from it. But that was a great goal then, taken then by Seamus Houghton the second time around. But the goals are huge. But look, I don't rule Naomh Muire out
of this game
in terms of getting goals. What I find about their forwards, they're so lively. They seem to attack like as a pack together, and they know exactly where each other are in the field. I felt Naomh Muire probably got their act together in terms of their kickouts. They lost maybe 5 or 6 kickouts early on. And kickouts are so important in a game.
And they've managed to pick off a good few of Daniel Malarkey's kickouts for Malin as well. So having really struggled at centre field in that first 5 or 10 minutes, they've really got their act together, and that's going to be very important for them now in the second half as well. So
listen, I think coming out now, Naomh Muire will try and chip away at the points early doors. I suspect Malin will try and press as best they can. They're facing that wind. The wind hasn't really died too much. The sun is shining, but as I say, it just depends. I think who gets out and gets a good early start here now. Naomh Muire will be looking to close that gap, try and get the 7 points down, get themselves back into the game. I felt like Sean Birds has been very good for them. A lot of the play has been going through him. Joey Gillespie's been on form. He'll be very disappointed didn't take a goal or two there in front of goal, but listen, this is the factors in a match, you know. But a really good game of football so far.
It's a good game of football. This is the first of the semi-finals in the Michael Murphy Sports Intermediate Championship. Tomorrow, Red Hughes will play Naomh Columba tomorrow afternoon. And on the other end of the Intermediate Championship, there's been a couple of relegation games today. Fannet are safe in the Intermediate Championship next year. They defeated Cloughaneely earlier by 2-16 to 18 points. And Burt are leading Narasa by 13 points to 2 at half-time in their semi-final up the road here in Cloughaneely. So from myself, Damien Dowds, and Maureen O'Donnell here at Sunshine struck Termon. Very breezy here. We'll be back for the second half of the semi-final of the Intermediate Championship here between Malin and Naomh Muire, with Malin leading by 2-9 to 8 points Erlaham.
At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
Across the centre here, that's Oisin McGonigal.
Oisin McGonigal from out beyond the 45. He's hoisted that up. He's put it right on the edge of the square, and that has gone over for the up rather gingerly. It's in now. Inside the day is Sean Byrne. Sean Byrne got a goal last week against Muff down in Buncrana, and he's got to point the ball out to Kieran Doherty. Kieran Doherty's the full-back, tries one off the outside of his boot and has put that over the bar. This is an absolutely fabulous start.
And this score should settle him.
This is Owen Martin. Owen Martin is Naomh Muire's top scorer. He has no problem popping that over the bar. And it's close on the edge of the square. Malin have Oisin McGonigal putting the ball in for Dara Douglas. Dara Douglas is in along the end line here, and with his left foot he's able just to chip over a fine wake inside the Malin arc again. Now it's the wing back Jack O'Donnell. O'Donnell, he lays it off to Owen Martin, and Owen Martin uses the wind superbly there to curl that over the bar, and you can see why he's been the top scorer. Cahill beats one man, beats two, and off his right foot he has just swung that over the bar. It looks like he's able to lay it off to the man that made the run inside earlier on there, and that's a fine score from Jack O'Donnell. Jack O'Donnell made the dummy run in the first instance, and the breeze hasn't been such a factor this last while because they've been able to pop on those scores. There's Dara Douglas from outside of the arc. It looks very much like two hands up. That's it back out to Kieran O'Kane. O'Kane and Farn combine again. It's back now with Paul McLaughlin. Paul McLaughlin is outside of the arc. He puts the ball into this edge of the big square, and it's dropped into the net. It's dropped into the net, and that's it. Very soon he manages to get around. He puts the ball across to Paul McLaughlin. Paul McLaughlin gets onto his right foot, and the goal scorer, having put in one from long, okay, it's gone back out now to the corner forward, Joey Gillespie. Joey Gillespie puts the ball over the bar. That's a well worked and a process. He's been stood off there trying to dare him to shoot, but he lays it off to one of the shooters, and that is well worked score again there from Joey Gillespie. Malman and Naomh Muire man further out the field. There's a ball in. It's a great ball into Owen Martin. He's laid it off to Cahill. He's through 1-on-1, but he has blasted the ball over the bar. There's a real goal chance there for Naomh Muire. The last time for the 45, but he's very comfortable. He's scored something like 20 points in this championship so far, and he struck that perfectly right over the Blacks' turnover. And that Malin are away now. Paul McLaughlin, number 13 on his back, puts the ball inside to Sean O'Neill. Sean O'Neill has got Seamus Houghton across the square. The ball is crossed for Houghton. Houghton sticks it into the back of the net. The ball came across there into O'Neill. O'Neill cuts into his left foot. He hoists the ball up high. There's a cheer from the stand over there. They're well positioned behind it. And there's another score from Malin just as to the Burn Road in Termon for the second half of this Intermediate Football Championship semi-final between Malin and Naomh Muire. Malin leading by 2-9 to 8 points here at half time. They've just taken their time to come back out of the dressing room here. Everyone else has been out for a few minutes here, but there's been one change made as well on the Naomh Muire team. They've replaced their goalkeeper Declan Ward with Lee Boyle. So Lee Boyle is in goals now for the second half here for Naomh Muire. Declan Ward struggled a little with the kick-outs early on, managed to get a grip on that, but they did give away 2 goals, so manager Danny O'Donnell has rung the changes in the goalkeepers. Unusual enough change to see, but they have made the decision to change their goalkeeper there. So it is 2-9 to 8 points that Malin lead. No changes that I can see on the Malin team here, and it's referee Anthony Finn from the Naomh Columkill Club. He's a Mayo man, and he's been refereeing for a number of years here now in Donegal. He's about to get the game underway. He's got his 4 umpires with him as well, and the ball is in, and the game, the second half is on, and Malin have won it. It's Kieran O'Kane, he wins it. Lays the ball off to John Jared McLaughlin, and in now to Taylor Boner. Taylor Boner's inside the 45, but they're going to have to work that ball out and back around the work the ball back out around now, and it's back out to Kieran Doherty. Kieran Doherty's wearing number 3 and he's back, but he's played most of the game as the as a right half back almost for Malin here, and has got his name on the score sheet with a first half point as well. So early stages of the second half, Malin are carrying the ball in there now. It's Oisin McGonigal, lays it off. There's a lot of traffic there, but it's back to O'Neill. Sean O'Neill got that last point of the half. Now, back again with Kieran O'Kane. He's in the corner. He puts the ball in, and there's just a bit of a kind of a panicked wee kick at the end there. Like, you know, I suppose Malin had nearly run out of ideas there, Maureen, and just kind of give the ball away. And now it's Lee Boyle with his first kick out. Yeah,
and shooting against that breeze, I suppose they have to get used to that breeze now in this half. If we like, you know, it was a bit out of his comfort zone there, to be honest.
Yeah. And the referee has just told Lee Boyle to take the to kick out from the centre of the post, not from out on the left side as he had set himself up to do it. So he strikes it left-footed. It's gone long, and it's gone and broken into the Naomh Muire men. So they've managed to win it below one of their the boys that was up contesting the ball is lying down. He looks to be hurt there. He's rolling around. He could have got a slap on the head there now, I think, just from that at around the time of that kick out. Can't see quite who that is there. It might be the midfielder Patrick Gillespie that's down, I think. I don't see him out around there. There's a breeze in the press box here as well, and everything's blowing right, left and centre. But
we're varying up with the elements, aren't we?
Yeah.
Same as the players, but it's an interesting change actually, to change your keeper, isn't it? I feel in the game it's a big one, and look, I know Ward came under a bit of pressure with the kickouts, and I suppose those mistakes, maybe can you call them mistakes? He was very unfortunate with that one that Seamus Houghton was on, kind of been a plague.
Probably got hit as well, like, you know, the two of them kind of probably hit one another in that goal at the very end of the at that end of the half, like, so he might be sore as well, like.
And you know, I'm sure he's feeling it now that he's been taken off as well, like. I don't know, like, you know, can you blame him for things like that? These things happen in the game, but look, in saying that, like, Lee Boyle has come out there and Naomh Muire have won their first kick out as well, so.
Yeah, and Patrick Gillespie is back up on his feet there, and he looks ready to go. Now Sean Burns is going to restart the play with a free kick from inside his own 65. Everyone's screaming how long, but there's been a long delay there for a bit of treatment to the centre fielder Patrick Gillespie, and it's with Cahill Fee and Owen Martin. They're going to be seeing if they can get any kind of joy out around the 45 with this in this wind-assisted second half. And it's out now with Tuchel Lunny. I think that is out on the right side of the Naomh Muire attack, and it's Sean Burns again, the playmaker in there, in the mould of a Greg Blaney. It's all going through him. Long range effort there from Joey Gillespie. He has the breeze on his back, but he's under pressure there, and he has kicked that ball wide. So that's Naomh Muire's second wide. So they were so efficient in the first half, more, and they probably need to try and keep that up and not just, you know, shoot kind of for the sake of it now in the second half.
Yeah, 100%. And look, as well as that, there, I suppose in the back of their mind they're thinking, a 7-point lead. They need to try and chip away at this now, but they really need to get the grips with the breeze as well, even though it's at their back.
Yeah. So Malin have won the break from that kick out there, Sean. Or Kieran Jimmy Rowe manages to get the thing. As the tackling there on Mac McLaughlin is considered too heavy by Paddy McCafferty, coming in heavy there on the wing back. Referee Anthony Finn, who's had a good game so far, he awards Malin a free now. It's with Daniel Green. He tries to beat his man there, but he has been intercepted. His pass has been cut out there by Jack O'Donnell. Now it's a turnover, and Naomh Muire are through. The ball just goes past Cahill Fee there, and Malin's defence now gets it. They can't pass back to the keeper. It's with Gary Farron. Gary Farron's gone down. No free, says the referee, but they've managed to work the ball out, Malin. And it is still very messy in there. Naomh Muire have won it back. It's back with Burns. Burns is looking back. He's trying to find a man to pass to him. Man in green. He's been pushed back outside his own 45, but they've managed to hold possession. And Patrick Gillespie now has the ball. And Naomh Muire have, from a very dangerous position inside their 20-metre line, they had been turned over once or twice there, but they've managed to retain possession, and it's back out now with Fintan Doherty. And with the wing forward there, Danny Devon. Martin lays the ball back. They've got a man free in the right there. It's the midfielder Gillespie. He's broke into the D there, but it's Tuchel Lunny. He's going right. It's laid back. Oh, it's kind of touched on the ground by Joey Gillespie. Malin are away. It's a solo and goal from Christopher McLaughlin. Christopher McLaughlin is just staying just about ahead of him, and it's a desperate tackle by Joey Gillespie. McLaughlin has got Taylor Boner out to his left. It's in now with Paul McLaughlin. He's got a goal in the first half, and it's a good save from Lee Boyle there. It was a swift counter-attack from Malin through the hands into the breeze, and they've got the opening score of the first half. Second half.
Yeah, that came from a turnover way deep, but what a counter-attack, because it was super fast up the field. Look, they were en route to goal, to be honest with you. Well done by Paul McLaughlin, but a great save by Lee Boyle.
Lee Boyle, his first major intervention in the game here is to make a very good save at the feet of Paul McLaughlin, and it's 2-10 to 8 points. Malin leading here by double scores at the Burn Road in the semi-final of the Intermediate Championship. It's with Cahill Fee. Cahill Fee has given the Malin defence a tricky time all day. He lays the ball off to Danny Devlin. Daniel Devlin, the team captain, gets his first score of the game, and it's a 2-10 to 9 points with just about 7 minutes gone, 6.5 minutes gone in the first half.
Yeah, and they've been working their way towards that score. They've had a wide or two before that there, but listen, Naomh Muire needed to get that score now under their belts, even though it's 2-10 to 9 points at the minute. I feel like they really need to get a couple of 2-pointers behind them.
They are, and they're trying to make a change here, Naomh Muire, and they've been a wee bit delayed on it here, but it's looking like it's going to be Harry Harden, the veteran, that's coming in, and he's coming in to replace the cornerback, Patrick Rogers, so that's a very attacking change that Naomh Muire have made here. 7 minutes into the second half. It's Harden that's in for Patrick Rogers, so Naomh Muire are going to put a lot of pressure on now in the second half to try and see if they can pull themselves back from this 7-point deficit, or free to Malin. And it's with Dara Douglas. Dara Douglas outside the 20-metre line. He has a snapshot at that, but that goes to the left of the post and wide. So it remains 2-10 to 9 points in favour of the Malin men.
And despite that goal, that goal opportunity, they've had two wides in the first half. They've had two chances, Malin, at hitting the post, and have missed as well. Got in. I know they were bearing down on goal. Fortunate enough to get a point from it, I suppose.
So the kick out comes to centre field. It's Christopher McLaughlin. He wins the ball. There's an advantage being allowed. It's gone inside now again to Paul McLaughlin. Paul Fuldara is on his right foot out there. He lays it back to Christopher. He takes a slap. He goes down. The referee just signals him to get back up. And it's come back out now, out towards the 65-metre line, and it's Oisin McGonigal, the centre half back. They've got a lot of width here, Malin. They have Taylor Boner across the centre, and they have Kieran Jimmy Rowe on the outside. It's Kieran okay, and he finds Kieran Doherty. Doherty's out. He's going to have a shot. He takes a shot from the difficult angle out on the right, and that has dropped wide as well. So that's a third wide of the second half for Malin. They're not as efficient in front of the posts as their opposition were in the first half, and they're probably taking on some shots from quite difficult angles here, Maury.
They are, but I guess they have that comfort zone, as well. So that makes it a wee bit easier for them to do that. Naomh Muire just experienced that little purple patch here in the second half from Malin now, and they won that kick out again.
And a mark taken there from the kick out again by Sean O'Neill. So Malin, again, like they did in the first half, they're putting a lot of pressure on this kick out of Naomh Muire's, except it's a different keeper now. It's Lee Boyle between the posts for Naomh Muire for the second half, and he's finding it quite difficult to get past that big black and amber wall that's there as well. So it's now with Kieran Doherty. He is able to take out three men with a pass across to Sean O'Neill. Sean O'Neill has Kieran O'Kane in on the edge of the thing. He's in an acre of space in here. He's a pretty good shooter. He swings himself around. I don't know that that's going to curl in enough for it, and it's emphatically waved wide by the umpire there. A fourth wide of the second half for Malin, and that's really a poor miss there by Kieran O'Kane.
Really one he should have capitalised on there. I feel like if the goalpost had been shifted back further, it may have went over, but there's a serious curl on the ball, and these players should really be getting the grips of that at this stage now.
It's okay, cleanly taken there centre field by Patrick Gillespie, but he's been dispossessed by Dara Douglas. Dara Douglas gets that kind of wrap-around tackle, and now he's under possession. He's under fierce tackling there. Does he release the ball? It is. It's back out with the green man, and the man is Joey Gillespie. Gillespie lets the ball into Danny Devlin. Devlin is being closely shadowed there by his counterpart, as the opposition captain is Christopher Vildara. He's forced to turnover, and it's with Kieran O'Kane. Kieran O'Kane breaks through. One tackle. It's with Mac McLaughlin here, just underneath the commentary position. He doesn't know what to do with it. He's looking for options, and it's a team captain, Christopher McLaughlin, that comes and gives and makes himself open to receive the pass. And now Malin are able to build again. They've swung the ball over to the left side of the field to John Jared McLaughlin. McLaughlin lays it off over there to Dara Douglas. Dara Douglas to Oshie McGonigal. They're just passing the ball around the centre here now, trying to do what Naomh Muire did so well in the first half, was at different periods of the game, just take a bit of the sting out of it. It's Josh Conlon. He's been really quiet so far. He's been so closely marked by Conor Cannon there, but he's managed to get away from him. He's still been closely marked by him. He's got Kieran Doherty free out in the right. He doesn't see him, but I think Paul McLaughlin probably will. There's a brilliant turnover there by Danny Devlin. Daniel Devlin was the man that had lost possession for Naomh Muire, and he worked so hard to get that back. The ball is in between Mac McLaughlin and Owen Martin. Owen Martin and McLaughlin are both going for the ball there, and Anthony Finn, the referee, signals, I think it's a free kick rather than a sideline ball there for Naomh Muire.
Yeah, what a fabulous turnover there. It's just a pity it didn't go to hand, because I felt they were even a great score from that. Some of the turnovers have been fantastic.
Very, very good. This pop tackle that Carl Lacey used to do, where they reach around and they do the uppercut from the other side, like where the boy has the ball tucked under the arm. Both sides have been able to execute that here today, and it's just been a very important part of the game for both teams.
Very good from a spectator's point of view as well, because it turns the play.
There's a big effort out there for a 2-point free from Sean Burns, or from Harry Harden. I would say it is. It's Harry Harden. Harden lands a 2-point free for the Naomh Muire men and brings it back to 2-10 to 11 points. That's a great score from Harden.
And well needed as well. And he effectively used the breeze just very well to carry that ball over the bar. Just a fantastic score, and Naomh Muire definitely needed it.
And Paulie Yank Boyle's getting ready to come on here. Harry Harden, that's exactly what he was brought on to do. He's brought on to help get the scores that Naomh Muire so desperately need. And it's now Paul Boyle, Paulie Yank, coming on now in place of Sean Burns, and he'll be playing out around the centre. He's a big man, Paul Boyle as well. So long kick out comes, catches in the wind, and Kieran Doherty manages to win it, but it's inside his own 45, so there is no mark. Mal now work the ball across. That could be intercepted again, but it's not. It's managed to be taken there by Oshie McGonigal. McGonigal takes a challenge there from the centre half back, and he's done for charging. Patrick McCafferty went running hard at his opposite number. Oshie McGonigal, and the referee, has given a charging offence against the Malin man there, and Malin are about to make a substitution themselves with Dara Doherty ready to come on.
That is an interesting call from the referee. I rarely see that in the men's game, to be honest with you, because of the physicality of it.
That's it. Obviously, in the women's game, Maureen, that is a free, like, because
Oh,
you're
it's
not
a big
allowed that
one.
barging.
It's become so prevalent now in the
Yeah.
women's game, but obviously there's no physical contact with them. But you know, what's a straight on shoulder and what's a charge, like, do you know?
That's it. He's probably a wee bit hard done by there, the Malin man, in that there. But the referee has the man in charge, and he's given that. And Malin have made a change there. It's number 20. That is Finn Ward. Finn Ward got a goal in extra time for them last week. He is now coming on to replace Daniel Green,
Yeah.
number 4, the
Number
cornerback.
4,
So
yeah.
Finn Ward's an attacker, and he's coming on now to replace Daniel Green. So Harry Harden has stole a number of yards there. He stole, I don't know how many yards he stole. He must have stole 6 or 8 yards there. Referee Andy Finn's having none of it, and he's now going to throw the ball up. So,
And
look,
actually
you have a-
weighed as well, no matter how many
Caught
yards
rabbit he
was. Yeah, you know, look, as a free taker, you know, you learn to strike the ball better, not harder. Like, and the harder you strike the ball, the more chance of the accuracy dipping. So but yeah, that
So
was.
Naomh Muire
that's
had
what
the free, and then they've lost the free, and now it's with the throw in, and it's back in Harden's hands again. And now he has the free again. They'll probably not steal it so much this time. Instead, he's gone solo and go. He's fired on through. He's outside of the arc when he kicks that there, and he's slipped that over the bar as well. That's what he was going to do from the free if he got his chance, but he managed to do it from open play instead. And with 15 minutes on the clock in the second half, Naomh Muire are right back in this game at 2-10 to 13 points.
Oh, that was a fabulous 2-pointer and well taken. What a substitute to come off the bench there. He scored the last 2-pointers to keep Naomh Muire in the play.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he really has that. Harden's been doing that for a long time for Naomh Muire. He's an excellent score taker, but he's now going to get a yellow card. I'm not sure which one of the two of those got the yellow card there. There's a lot of pushing and shoving between Harry Harden and Kieran. Jimmy Rowe, one or other of them got the yellow card there. Kick out comes to Christopher McLaughlin. He's managed to win it, but he's down on the ground, and they're going to pause the game here, I'd imagine, now for a few moments while he gingerly gets up to his feet again. And the ball's in Malin's possessions. They did win that kick out. Gary Farn is trying to get away from Cahill Fee there in the centre of the field as well. And there's a wee bit of pulling and dragging. It's now with Taylor Boner. There's a few boys being set.
There's a lot of hard hits going on.
That's
out
it.
here.
It's starting now to liven
Yeah.
up here. There's a lot of championship fever starting to build here, and it's with Finn Ward. Finn Ward has been shown down the right side. Can he get out around? He can get around. He comes in along the end line. He puts the ball across and fists the ball over the bar. He showed Fintan Doherty a clean pair of heels there, and having scored a goal, an important goal for Mal in extra time against Muff last week. He's followed that up with a point from play here today.
Yeah, look, some of the substitutes that have come on here have been fantastic. That was a brilliant run, and you know, he went all the way, and he was being close, so he did. He took the smart option and fisted over the bar.
He really did, yeah. And Lee Boyle gets the kick out away to Faraday Doherty. The ball's now with Tuchel Lunny. Lunny's crossing the 45. He's outside. He's going to keep going. He's got Owen Martin. Owen Martin's going through. He goes to the top right corner, but it just skims over the bar. Another goal chance for Naomh Muire. They still haven't managed to get the goal chance, but they will be happy to have got the point out of it. Martin's shot just inches over the bar.
Yeah, so well worked, and the right man at the end of the play, and just I actually thought it was in from where we were looking, but a let off for Malin would have narrowed it to 1.
It was a great effort from Owen Martin there. Like, I suppose a lot of people are told if you're going to shoot, shoot kind of high, and if you don't get the goal, you get the point. There's another pass intercepted. Kieran O'Kane's pass intercepted by Daniel Devlin. They've won it again around the centre of the field, and it's now with Paul Liak. Paul Boyle is going back to his own half, and he's put his own man in a wee bit of bother there. Now he's been closed down. He's got 2 men, and the tackling's too severe, says referee Anthony Finn. Jack O'Donnell doesn't need a second invitation. He solos and goes. Away they go again. Naomh Muire, they're surging forward there. Now they've just taken the sting out of it. Harden is on the ball again. He's outside the 45, just a wee bit beyond his range. There's a give and go there between him and Owen Martin. And Martin is trying to get by, but he's been dispossessed there. He's been dispossessed by Oisín McGonigal. Oisín McGonigal, the ball breaks kindly to Dara Douglas. Dara Douglas is motoring now. He's crossed the 45-metre line. He finds an unbelievable pass into Christopher Fuldara. Fuldara goes, beats his man, gets onto his right foot. He's going to go back onto stays on his right foot, and Christopher McLaughlin, he gets another score for Malin, 12 to 14 points. This is an end-to-end stuff, Maureen.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to Malin. Their turnover rate against Naomh Muire here in the second half has been phenomenal and has led to a lot of those scores. They really are working hard. They're pressing out. They've pressed out hard on Naomh Muire that time, turned over the ball.
And there's Christopher Fuldara taking a massive catch at centre field off Lee Boyle's kick out. Malin are back on the attack again as Paul McLaughlin. He's going to cut inside. He's going to be turned around. He lays it off to Josh Conlon. Conlon has been quiet so far. He's been so tightly marked. He's lost possession. The ball comes to Adam O'Brien. He can't get down. O'Neill's in around, nipping around. Conlon gets down on it. He gets his foot and he swings his left foot at it and hits the side netting there. Martin McKinley, the umpire in the white coat, he was doing the line earlier on in one of the games up the road at that intermediate. At the senior championship, reserve championship quarter-final that ended in a penalty shootout win, I believe, for Dunlow. So McKinley's double jobbing today, doing the line in one venue, doing umpiring at another one. Another Naomh Column Killman there. Now another kick out. Boyle's kick out is won, easily won out there by Paul McLaughlin, and it's back to Oisín McGonigal. Oisín McGonigal is looking for his team captain again, Christopher McLaughlin. He's really come to the fore in the second half when the pressures come on. And it's now with John Jared McLaughlin. John Jared Crua, he spins into a tackle. He loses possession as well. And Naomh Muire have it. Naomh Muire are on the attack. They're going to have to build from deep. They only have the 3 men up, so they're going to build from deep. Adam O'Brien is looking for a pass there. He's lucky enough to get away with that. It comes back to Paul Leank. Paul Leank maybe was tripped there. No free, says the referee. And it's back now with Fintan Doherty. It's hard racing stuff here at the Burn Road as Malin hold a 12 to 14 point lead over Naomh Muire in this semi-final of the championship. A great shot from Fintan Doherty. That's a 2-point effort. It's a 1 point actually. It looked like it was from outside of the arc there. I might be getting a wee bit too excitable there, but that's a great score from Fintan Doherty, 12 to 15 points.
And they'll probably be disappointed that they didn't get a 2-pointer. They really need to rack up a few more scores here just to stay in this match, but it's very, very exciting.
Just the 3 points between the teams. And it's Daniel Malarkey looking for his own man. He's going to try and put it on Christopher McLaughlin again. It's heading out that way. McLaughlin's going to go up there. And the break goes to Harry Harden. Harry Harden has won it. He lays it back to his comrade in arms, Adam O'Brien. They've played it out wide to Fintan Doherty. Now Naomh Muire have men free on the right over here. And it's with Tuachal Lunny. He's been prominent throughout this. And it's gone back to Paul the Yank Boyle as well. Now out beyond the long range distance out. Owen Martin, he's coming on the loop here now. He's just walking out to the edge of that arc. He has a shot at the post. He doesn't like the look of it, and it's been signalled wide. That's only the second wide that I've made a note of for Naomh Muire in the second half. Their efficiency in front of the post is excellent.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed though not to have got that. Like, when you have a man like Owen Martin on the ball and that kind of one behind you, you expect them to put over that. Like, he is their probably sharpshooter. As I say, top scorer for Naomh Muire. He's the man that they want to get on the ball. Not saying that they do have a lot of good forwards, but he should be putting them over.
I said he was expecting him to put that on target. They're 3 points behind here. So a little chip kick out there from Daniel Malarkey as far as Kieran O'Kane. O'Kane goes up for it, but the break goes to Naomh Muire. Naomh Muire are in there to win it. No, they can't win it, but it's a free in there at the end. A messy ball on the ground. Cathal Fee was in, making a nuisance of himself. O'Kane couldn't quite take it cleanly there from the kick out. That little chip kick out didn't quite come off. Held up in the wind a wee bit.
Yeah, probably, I suppose, just in with the boot, but probably one of the softest frees we kind of have seen. And this, he was probably going down just about to pick the ball up. The player going down to pick the ball up will often get the advantage when something like that happens. So it's a 2-point free effort for Owen Martin. He's just 5 or 6 metres inside of the left-hand sideline here. He puts that on target, and that's a super score. A 2-point free from Owen Martin, and he reduces the deficit just a single point between the teams here, Maureen. We're going to be in for a ding-tong finish here with just about 8 or 9 minutes left. We certainly are, because I still feel there's that threat of an Naomh Muire goal yet, They've had a couple of opportunities, just haven't made it yet, but they'll be looking to get inside maybe and get that goal. They've been scoring goals all season.
They have shown the threat there tonight, just none of them have quite come off from a long kick out from Daniel Malarkey. Is one there, ball bounces behind everyone they've been up for it, but Tuchel Lunny is the man that got back and gets his hands onto it. Harry Harden lays the ball back into his own half to Paul Yank. They've got Fintan Doherty free over here on the at the left half back position. The ball's bound to make its way over to him eventually. It's Jack O'Donnell. O'Donnell already has a point in the first half now, and it's with Jack again. He's breaking his way in. It looks like it might have been a foul, but no foul given there. A good turnover then it will be for Finn Ward. Christopher Faldara is brought down just on the halfway line, and he gets up, solos and goes. Joey Gillespie has to keep his hands away from him in case he gets done for the free. Oh, he tries to solo and go again, Faldara, but he doesn't get it because the referee is going to take the book out here and is going to have a few words with Joey Gillespie.
Yeah, look, he didn't want his straight broke there, to be fair. He nearly got away with it the third time, but Chris McLaughlin's having a real stormer out here for Malin. You know, he's really carrying them into the game and trying to carry the ball up against that one, get up forward so they can get another score on the board, because there's only a point between them, you know. Just
a point between the teams here. And it's with Christopher McLaughlin, and he's going over towards that corner there, and it's laid in there to John Jared McLaughlin. McLaughlin lays the ball out to Mac McLaughlin, one of Malin's youngsters. And they're going to try and they're staying over in that left flank, and it's back in with Christopher McLaughlin, but he's out very close to the sideline there. He's put it into Josh Conlon. He's a real talent here, Josh Conlon. He's been quiet all day today. He's going to try to squeeze through. He gets through two men, gets through the challenge of two men, and Sean O'Neill, he lays the ball back to Sean O'Neill, and Sean O'Neill is able to double Malin's lead here, and they now lead by 13 to 17 points as Naomh Muire prepared to make another substitution with it is Dara White. Dara White getting ready to come on. Another one of their veteran players who has a good eye for the posts here.
Yeah, look, I think Naomh Muire really need to win this kick out as well after this. You can't fault Malin. They've been working extremely hard against that breeze. Like, that was a fantastic point there by Sean O'Neill. He's second. You've seen him taking that point just at the end of the first half as well for them. Super stuff.
So the break goes Malin's way off that. It's with Dara Douglas. Dara Douglas slips the ball outside to Josh Conlon, and it's laid back now to Paul McLaughlin. He's got two men here in the right. It's Finn Ward. He's already got a point since coming on as a substitute. He gives it to O'Neill. O'Neill tries to solo through, beats one man, and with his left foot he's after swinging one over with his right and one with his left. That's Sean O'Neill. He finished very strongly last week. He got two pointers from Malin in their in normal time against Muff, and he's come up with two big scores here late in this semi-final this weekend.
Yeah, and look, those are the kind of men you need to be relying on when the game's in the melting point here. Look, it's a very close encounter, and brilliant. He took it off his right the last time, and that was off his left, so that's fantastic play.
Great kick in, yeah. So that's Daniel Devlin. He gets the ball out around centre field. He wins the kick out. He's put it into Dara White. That's his first involvement in the game. Now it's with Fintan Doherty and over to Harry Harden, one of the shooters that they'll be looking to get on here late in this game. They have the centre fielder Patrick Gillespie is unmarked here. He's looking for Danny Devon. And again, Harry Harden, he's well out. He's been closely marked here by Kieran Doherty. He's been shadowed the whole way across the 45. And he's just dropped the ball going into it there. He's looking tired, Danny Devlin. He manages, though, to retain possession and lay it back to Paul the Yank. Paul the Yank lays the ball off to Owen Martin. Owen Martin is outside the 45. He takes one look up at the post, and he hits the equalising score. That is an unbelievably well-taken two-pointer from Owen Martin from well outside the 45-metre line there. That's a great score from Owen Martin. And it's a level 19... Sorry, it's 2-14, 20 points to 19 points.
Yeah,
1 point lead still here now for the Malin men. And they bring on Stephen McLaughlin is coming on. Stephen Fildara is coming on to replace Seamus Houghton on the edge of the square. Stephen McLaughlin, who was a member of the Donegal senior football squad away back in, I'm going to say 2014, winning an Ulster medal, and in the squad they reached the All-Ireland final. And the ball is out from the kick out. It's break here now to Paul Boyle. Paul the Yank lays it back to Owen Martin. Martin across to Tuchel Lunny. He's been very prominent throughout this game as well, and is still shown well late in the game. Faraday Adordy plays the ball out to the right to Cahill Fee. Fee is trying to take on his man here, and he has got Fintan Doherty inside him. A nice pass to Harden. It makes its way back. He's out beyond the 45. That's a dangerous ball into the square, and it could have went anywhere, and it went wide at the end of it. It went wide at the end of it.
Absolutely could have went anywhere. It was sort of like a Seamus Houghton moment.
That's it, yeah. As a wee bit like the effort that Paul McLaughlin put in the first half too. That one ended up in the net for Malin. This one didn't for Naomh Muire. There's a point between the teams, and there is just about 90 seconds of normal time left. There's a good racket coming from the stand here at Thurman. Malarkey's looking for his options. Kick comes out to the 65-metre line. Fingertips to it. Malin get the break. It's Finn Ward. He goes down under a second challenge there. He goes down under the challenge of Danny Devlin. So
it's getting very heated now in the last couple of minutes.
Played in there from Kieran O'Kane to Stephen McLaughlin. Stephen McLaughlin probably making his first start or his first appearance in the senior or in the intermediate championship this year for Malin. He's come back to Malin and managed to get a couple of their veterans back as the semi-final came into view. Now Stephen McLaughlin is under pressure there, but he managed to hold on. 1, 2, 3 man pass. It's back out to Ward. There's a goal chance here. It's open. Goal chance for Paul McLaughlin, and he has struck it into the net. Malin have taken the third goal with 29 minutes on the clock. There was great patience there from Stephen McLaughlin. 1, 2, 3 solos he took. He laid the ball into Finn Ward across the square, and Paul McLaughlin, with his second goal of the day, has put Malin 4 points in front, and we're going into injury time here at the end of the game.
That was an absolutely super goal, because I swear to God there was about 10 Naomh Muire players on the line at that stage. The rain's coming down here now, but Malin have turned the ball over.
Malin's tails are completely up now. John Jared McLaughlin, he manages to get that break, and it's going to Dara Douglas. Can Malin do what they did in 2023 and get through the semi-final? They were beaten semi-finalists last year, and they are on the cusp here now of qualifying for a second intermediate final in 2 years. As a squally breeze runs across the field here. There's a lash and everyone's piling into the trailer here. In you come, lads. Get in for a bit of shelter.
The rain is really coming down out
There's
there.
a torrential downpour there.
Yeah.
And in the midst of all that downpour, there's been a free awarded to the Malin men, and they have the ball just on their on the 45, the Naomh Muire 45. Malin are holding possession out around there. Christopher Vildara, Paul Vildara, John Crua. They're getting the ball back out to Christopher Vildara. Harden's over there trying to take the ball off, and they put it back into their own half. They've gone back court. It's over now to Oisín McGonigal. He breaks past the challenge of Fintan Doherty. Josh Conlon is there. He manages not to overcarry the ball. He gets past one man. He gets past two. He's gone past three. They've taken the pass off Stephen Vildara again. It's gone into Finn Ward. Ward has been dangerous when he's come on. He's the boy who supplied the assist for Stephen Vildara, or Paul Vildara for the point, and it's gone. He's been involved again, and it's Dara Douglas. Malin are finishing strongly here. Dara Douglas with a well-taken score, and it's 3-15 to 19 points now. Malin are closing in on qualification for the intermediate final in 2 weeks' time.
Oh, they've won the ball again. They're really playing well.
Two Malin men go for the kick out there from Lee Boyle, and they managed to mess it up between them now. That gives Naomh Muire the opportunity to get on the attack, and they've come in inside the 45. They have a sideline ball here. It's Paul the Yank on the sideline ball. Don't break the white line. He's put it back to Owen Martin. Owen Martin is probably fancying this for a 2-point effort. How wide is the pitch here at Termon Morange? He's going for this, you reckon?
Yeah, listen, he's going to
go
for it.
2-point sideline.
Like, will they drop it in? Because I feel at this stage of the game they need to go.
Probably to go. He puts the ball in, and it just drifts to the right and wide. 32 minutes gone, a fourth wide of the second half for Naomh Muire, and they trail by 5 points. Malin with 3-15, that's 24 points to 19 points for the Naomh Muire men. Daniel Malarkey will be in no great rush to take this kick out. One more kick out to win it would probably be enough for Malin if they can get possession. The ball falls almost straight like a stone on the 65-metre line. It's with the Naomh Muire men. McCafferty puts it in to Fee. Fee is pulled down there. There's a drag on him, but it's gone in now. There's going to be an advantage allowed here. And the Malin men get enough men back in time. Gary Farnett was that got the challenge in there.
Definitely
on
get a
Cahill
card for this
Fee.
as well.
He could be on a card. It's definitely a jersey pull. He tried to pull the man down. There was a 3-man breach there. I don't know if the umpire's seen it. There's a 3-man breach. by the Naomh Muire men, but they've managed to get away with it. They put it out to the arc of the top of the arc, and Owen Martin swings the ball over with 33 minutes on the clock to reduce the deficit to 3 points. Just a goal between the teams now as they go in to the 34th minute of this game, with Owen Martin hitting over another 2-pointer.
Yeah, and that's his third 2-pointer of this game. They have 5 in total and still can't manage to get ahead of Malin, you know. So it just goes to show you how important those goals are.
Pat Barrett is down there on the sideline. He signalled 1 minute, or he's held up one finger up here to the spectators and to the press box up here. And it sounds like 1 minute of the game to go. There's an advantage being allowed. Dara Douglas wins the dirty ball at centre field. He finds Kieran O'Kane. Kieran O'Kane has 4 men closing him down. It's with Oisin McGonigal. The Naomh Muire men are fighting and battling as though their life depend on it. And it's with Dara Douglas. Douglas gives a kick pass forward. It's a long, ambitious pass forward, and it's been cut out there by the full-back, by Faraday Doherty. Doherty holds the ball, breaks through tackle. It's Fintan Doherty. Out now with Jack O'Donnell. Jack O'Donnell. They need to move the ball forward, Naomh Muire. Harry Harden has the ball. He's just on the 45. Outside of the left, the boot. He's dropping the ball into the square. It's dangerous in there, and it's been taken away by the Malin men. They've managed to get the break, and it's Kieran Doherty. Kieran Doherty comes out, drops the ball, plays the ball out, and it's with Jack O'Donnell. What a pick-up from Jack O'Donnell off his left foot. He puts the ball into the square again. The ball's dropped in there. There's going to be a penalty. No penalty given. The referee doesn't give the penalty, and Naomh Muire have hooked the ball wide. Oh, it did look like there was a foul on the Naomh Muire defender in there. Referee didn't think so. They're in talking to the umpires. There's not much point in that. He doesn't get a say in if it's a penalty or not.
We are not happy at all, and it really did
no
look
penalty
for
awarded
a penalty.
Eh?
It really did look like
It
a
looked
penalty.
like it was
in that
taken down
sense.
there.
I felt referee for the first time, Anthony Finn, was too far away from the play. Didn't maybe make that call, but his linesman they're not budging either.
I think it was
Naomh
Paddy
Muire are not
McCaffrey.
happy.
It was Paddy McCaffrey that was in there, I think. So the full-time whistle sounds, and Malin are back into the intermediate final, and they have beaten Naomh Muire here by 3-15 to 19 points in an absolutely cracking game of football in this intermediate championship semi-final. There's a pitch invasion from the Malin Wayans coming down from one end, and Danny O'Donnell, who'll be very familiar to a lot of the Malin men. He teaches down in the Cairn Community School, where all the Malin boys go to secondary school. He's over now offering congratulations, as is Paul Gallagher there, and the Malin manager there, out doing it. So Malin Maureen have managed to overcome Naomh Muire here and to win this semi-final by 3-15 to 19 points. Those goals from Malin Maureen, clearly, that's the big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. They were massive difference in the end, and you know, like Naomh Muire tried their best to get back into the game, but they never led for the whole game, you know. So you got to give credit, huge credit to Malin. They did the job of 7 points at half time. They were leading, you know. They come out. I thought the start the first half, you know, went Naomh Muire's way, but it has been all Malin possession wise. I felt they were very good on the breaking ball. They won their kickouts. You know, the turnovers were amazing, and even attacking against that one, they carried the ball in, made smart option, fisted it over the ball. We're actually unfortunate enough not to get another goal as well. Only Lee Boyle pulled off a very good save as well. So, you know, look, Malin have never won the intermediate championship. So, you know, I suppose the new management there as well this year, so they're really there to, you know, to make an impact, and they have, and they'll be delighted. As you can see from them out there, they're delighted to get in. Despite, look, Owen Martin for Naomh Muire, their top scorer, scored 10 points. He had three 2-pointers there. It still wasn't enough, you know. And yeah, look, they'll be probably disappointed with the referee's choice at the very end, and that's all part and parcel of the game, and you know, there might be a bit of backlash from that, but at the end of the day, that's the way it is. Malin, I felt, were the better team throughout the whole thing, even though despite Naomh Muire's attacking plays at times, they were very good, and they were very good at spraying the ball across. They were patient in the first half, but I just felt they didn't press on the second half enough.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Naomh Muire with the advantage of that win. They added 11 points in the second half, but Malin playing into the wind, they scored 1-6, and it's that goal threat that Malin possessed. I know the first one was probably a wee bit lucky from Paul McLaughlin. It dropped in over the keeper's head. Seamus Howden finished a very well worked ball where it was Sean O'Neill, I think it was, that squared the ball across for him to do, and then to get the ball into the net just at the end of the first half. And then late in the game, again, Malin worked the ball from the right corner forward position, worked it across the square, and managed to finish it to the net with Paul McLaughlin again on the as the man that applied the finishing touch to it.
Yeah, and like in the end, as you say, the goals were kind of kept that gap between them at all times. And even though we ran a bit over time on both sides, Malin were just, I felt, the stronger team out there. As you say, they took the smarter options, they worked the ball better. Their turnover rates were brilliant, and even against that breeze, as you say, them scoring 1-6 against that breeze, that was the winning factor for me, I think, for them. Look, you got to give them credit. I thought they were very good out there, and probably Naomh Muire maybe were more fancied coming into the game.
That's right, yeah. Although Malin probably would be pointing to the fact of their record in the championship, getting to the final 2 years ago, beating semi-finalists last year. But Naomh Muire, that's 2 years in a row now where they've been eliminated in the semi-final. Last year, I think it was Termon that knocked them out, and they went on to win it. So Malin now are into the intermediate final. It's the 4th time they've been in the intermediate final in the club's history. They haven't managed to put their name on the Cathal McLaughlin Cup yet, but they, in 2 weeks' time, will have the chance to do that, and they will be playing against Naomh Columba or Red Hughes. Their semi-final is tomorrow, and we will try to get some post-match reaction. I'll go down and see if I can get some of these Malin men to get out of their celebrating dressing room here and pull them back for a bit of post-match
Yeah,
reaction.
because they're gone now at this stage. But
Maureen, listen, Maureen, thank you very much for all your work and co-commentary here today. We'll look forward to the rest of the championship. Termon have a big day out tomorrow. You'll be looking forward to that game against Naomh Conlon in the senior championship. You're telling me you're not working. You'll be in amongst the fans tomorrow and be able to have a busman's holiday at that too.
Looking at it from a different perspective, but yeah, look, we're in the real crux of the championship now, so it's fantastic to be here, and there's some super games to look forward to.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. Well, listen, hopefully we can get some of these Malin men over to do a little bit of post-match reaction here in Donegal GTV. But as it stands, it's Malin through to the final of the Intermediate Championship. They've beaten Naomh Muire here on a scoreline of 3-15 to 19 points. Across the centre here, that's Oisín McGonigal. Oisín McGonigal from out beyond the 45. He's hoisted that up. He's put it right on the edge of the square, and that has gone over for the old brother gingerly. It's in now. Inside the day is Sean Byrne. Sean Byrne got a goal last week against Muff down in Buncrana, and he's got a point the ball out to Kieran Doherty. Kieran Doherty's the full-back, tries one off the outside of his boot and has put that over the bar. This is an absolutely fabulous start.
And this score should settle him.
This is Owen Martin. Owen Martin is Naomh Muire's top scorer. He has no problem popping that over the bar. It's close on the edge of the square. Malin have Oisín McGonigal putting the ball in for Dara Douglas. Dara Douglas is in along the end line here, and with his left foot, he's able just to chip over a fine right hand side. Malin again now. It's the wing back Jack O'Donnell. He lays it off to Owen Martin. And Owen Martin uses the wind superbly there to curl that over the bar. And you can see why he's been the top scorer. Beats one, beats two, and with his right foot, he has just swung that over the bar. That's a fine score from Jack O'Donnell. Jack O'Donnell made the dummy run in the first instance, and the breeze hasn't been such a factor this last while because they've been able to pop on those scores. There's Dara Douglas from outside of the arc. It looks very much like two hands up. That's it back out to Kieran O'Kane. O'Kane and Farn combine again. It's back now with Paul McLaughlin. Paul McLaughlin is outside of the arc. He puts the ball into this edge of the big square, and it's dropped into the net. It's dropped into the net, and that's the very soon. He manages to get around. He puts the ball across to Paul McLaughlin. Paul McLaughlin gets onto his right foot, and the goal scorer, having put in one from long, okay, has gone back out now to the corner forward, Joey Gillespie. Joey Gillespie puts the ball over the bar. That's a well-worked process. He's been stood off the kind of daring him to shoot, but he lays it off to one of the shooters, and that is well-worked score again there from Joey Gillespie. Further out the field, there's a ball in. It's a great ball into Owen Martin. He's laid it off to Galfie. He's through 1-1, but he has blasted the ball over the bar. There's a great goal chance there for Naomh Muire. The last time from 45 was very comfortable. He's scored something like 20 points in this championship so far, and he struck that perfectly right over the back turnover. And that Malin are away now. Paul McLaughlin, number 13 on his back, puts the ball inside to Sean O'Neill. Sean O'Neill has got Seamus Houghton across the square. The ball is crossed for Houghton. Houghton sticks it into the back of the net. The ball came across there into O'Neill. O'Neill cuts into his left foot. He hoists the ball up high. There's a cheer from the stand over there. They're well positioned behind it. And there's another Taylor Boner out to his left. It's in now with Paul McLaughlin. He's got a goal in the first half, and it's a good save. Intermediate championship is with Cathal. Cathal has given the Malin defence a tricky time all day. He lays the ball off to Danny Devlin.
Very good from a spectator Taylor's point of view as well, because it turns the play.
There's a big effort out there for a 2-point free. Instead, he's gone solo and go. He's fired on through. He's outside of the arc when he kicks that there, and he's slipped that over the bar as well. That's what he was going to show down the right side. Can he get out around? He can get around. He comes in along the end line. He puts the ball across and fists the ball over the bar. He's crossing the 45. He's outside. He's going to keep going. He's got Naomh Muire. Naomh Muire's going through. He goes to the top right corner, but it just Fuldara goes, beats his man, gets onto his right foot. He's going to go back onto his, stays on his right foot, and Christopher Fuldara, Christopher Malin hold a 12 to 14-point lead over Naomh Muire in this semi-final of the championship. A great shot from Fintan Doherty. That's a 2-point. He's just 5 or 6 metres inside of the left-hand sideline here. He puts that on target, and that's a super score. A 2-point free from Owen Martin, and he reduces the all day today. He's going to try to squeeze through. He gets through 2 men, gets through the challenge of 2 men, and the points is coming on as a substitute. He gives it to O'Neill. O'Neill tries to solo through, beats 1 man, and with his left foot he's after to Owen Martin. Owen Martin's outside the 45. He takes 1 look up at the post, and he hits the equalising score. Now Stephen McLaughlin is under pressure there, but he managed to hold on. 1, 2, 3 men past. It's back out the ward. There's a goal chance here. It's open. Goal chance for Paul McLaughlin, and he has struck it into the net. Malin have taken the 3rd goal for Stephen Fuldara, for Paul Fuldara for the point, and it's gone. He's been involved again, and it's Dara Douglas. Malin are finishing off his left foot. He puts the ball into the square again. The ball's dropped in there. There's going to be a penalty. No penalty given. The referee doesn't give the penalty, and Naomh Muire have hooked the ball wide. Oh, it did. Road in Termon, where I'm joined by the Malin manager Paul Gallagher after his team's 3-15 to 21 point win over Naomh Muire in the semi-final of the Intermediate Championship. Paul, I was that excited at the end of the match. I kept calling it as a 19-15 to 19 points, a 1-point win for Malin there at the end of that. Like, how did you manage to pull that off? Or 3-point win, sorry, for Malin at the end of that. How did you just manage to engineer that win there tonight?
Honestly, I know it's a cliche, but hard work just came in the end. Like, going in at half time, I thought we hadn't done enough. You know, they kept at us there, and we got maybe a lucky goal in the first half to pull away a wee bit. But with that breeze picking up, you just felt it wasn't going to be enough, and it was going to take a huge effort in the second half from the boys when we're on the ball, patience on the ball, and try and pick our scores and take our chances when they're on. And you know, we felt if we got our running game going, we'd get in behind them, but we had to be smart about it as well. So. Luckily, you know, there was a huge threat there in the subs they brought on in the second half. We were under pressure with them 2-pointers. I'm not sure how many they kicked there in the second half, but you know, they were just eating into it. You know, and luckily we got the goals again to help us get it.
Yeah, I mean, your first goal probably had a touch of fortune to it. Paul McLaughlin was probably going for a point, but Houghton's in around the end of the square. It makes it very difficult for the goalkeeper there.
You know, they can't take their eye off him, and even the second goal,
of course,
you know, you have to watch him. You know,
that's it. And then Naomh Muire, they changed their goalkeeper at half time, and they brought on Lee Boyd in the second half, and he made a very good save early in the second half. And that third goal from Paul McLaughlin again, I think, like, you know, that put you well in charge. That put you 3-14 to 19 points ahead. Like, you know, you just were you just had to try and manage that game out then to the end. Like, it was easier said than done.
Easier said than done. That third goal, I thought it it looked good. Like there was composure on the ball, and there was a lot of bodies around, but the boys weaved the ball through and took the right options, and just glad that they did. Nobody snatched at it. They worked the ball till they got it the right person.
And Steve McLaughlin had come on as a sub, but he was heavily involved in that, and he
Yeah.
has a lot of experience, and he's one of the players that is probably, we thought, might have stepped away from the team, but they've come back now. Him and John Jerry McLaughlin both came on here in the game today, and that's a wee bit of additional depth that you've been able to add to the panel as this championship run has gone on.
100%. Well, just the game of Muff and going 80 minutes. And like I had been chatting to the boys about coming back, and I felt like now's the time. Like we're one foot in the door, and thankfully they came on. Great experience. Like the years that they've spent with Malin, you could see it out there as well. Like they bring a wee bit of composure to it, and it's great having that strength and depth, at this part of the championship.
You had some very big performances from the bench yourself. Finn Ward came on again and made another very, very good contribution there. Christopher Valdara, excellent as well. Again, gave a real leadership in that second half as well. And even though Josh Conlon was tightly marked and well marshalled, particularly in that closing phase of the game, that last 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, like he started to come and present a bit of a threat here to Naomh Muire in attack. Yeah,
Josh he works good in tight spaces, and he excels at that. He nearly feeds on it. And he's always going to get his wee opportunities. And like you mentioned, Finn Ward coming on, like the work he was doing going forward, but even going back there, and he stripped a great ball. Towards the end there, putting in the huge work rate, and it's bringing boys off that. Like that's what you need. You need to be bringing fresh legs on.
Aye. And Paul, obviously you took over the team at the back end of last year. You told me after you were relegated in the league earlier on this year, relegated from Division 1. I think your phrase to me was, "We don't really care about being relegated." You hadn't given it a second thought because the whole thing was about championship for you. Yeah. The whole thing's about championship for Malin, and given the big churn in players that you have had over the last 12 months, did you believe that you could get back to where you were in 2023?
Well, maybe I shouldn't be saying it, but like when I met the boys back in December and I told them this is what I wanted for this year was get to that final, and I said the league will look after itself if we put the work rate in, rather than focusing on the league and then focusing on the championship. I said, look, let's make that our focus. And in fairness to the boys, like they've been working hard, and the league didn't go our way, but we had a few men injured, and we lost some of them games by tight margins as well. Another day you might have had it, and I think 2 points might have kept us safe. So wasn't worried about it, still not worried about it, and like we're on a good run at the moment, and the form that we showed, maybe on the wrong side of results in the league, still we just hit it at the right time. We got a couple of wins at the end of the league, and we were able to bring that form into the championship,
And you really have backed it up, because you were in the final in 2023. You were beating semi-finalists this time last year, and you have got back to the final now. You've been unbeaten the whole way through this championship as well this year. Yourselves and Naomh Columba are the only two unbeaten sides left in it. So, you're able to put up your feet tomorrow and watch Naomh Columba against Red Hughes. You'd be looking forward to that. And what's this going to mean? When I was extracting you out of the out of the dressing room there, it was hard to pull you out because you were getting that many people coming over and embracing you, and there's just sheer delight amongst the Malin supporters and the Malin club members down there. What do you think? What are you looking forward to most in the next fortnight now?
I'm looking forward to maybe getting tired bodies and getting them right again. To be honest with you, them games just come. They're just week to week and week. Like it's probably the hardest one of the hardest championships in Ireland. There's just no rest, and I think getting bodies right and letting the boys enjoy it. The build-ups. It's there. It's all part of the final. And hopefully then we can come out in 2 weeks' time with the bodies right and the heads right.
That's it. It's a great place to be. You're preparing for a second intermediate championship final in 2 years, the club's fourth in the history, and you'll be very much hoping that this squad of players can go on and engrave their name and put their name on the Cathal McLaughlin.
100%. Like anything can happen in a final, but we're not going to get carried away. Naomh Columba and Red Hughes, they're both very strong sides with county men in their teams, so we just have to get ready for the challenge. Whether we'll watch the game tomorrow and see who comes through, and we know either way it's going to be a tough game. Like there's no quarter out there, and every game that the standard and level just seems to be going up, and it's a huge effort to get over the line,
Yeah, and it's a tremendous effort from Malin here today, and a word too for Naomh Muire, who contributed handsomely to that display in that football match out there tonight. It's a 3-point win for Malin. They have advanced to the final of the Intermediate Championship here in Donegal. I want to thank Paul Gallagher, the winning manager here. He's in his first year with Malin, and he's brought them to the Intermediate final. And I want to thank Maureen O'Donnell, who was here in co-coms earlier. So from myself, Damien Dowes, and from all here at the Donegal GA TV team, I'd like to thank you for your company this evening, and we'll see you for the final in a couple of weeks' time.
At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.